Okay, in this video, this is a follow-up to the first video I did about 5 steps for increasing page speed on your WordPress site. And this is the second part of it, where we're going to be setting up a CDN using Amazon CloudFront Content Delivery Network. Okay, this is the site that I'm using as the demo for this, and we can see over GT metrics, even after the 5 steps that I took, I increased it about 10 points for each one of these metrics. And a lot of the times, depending on the theme that you use, what the first video I showed with the 5 steps for just using W3 Total Cache will generally get the results up a lot, okay, into the green. This particular theme has got a lot of social icons, and social stuff will really slow down a site, okay, and I suspect that that's why this one has still got a lot of a low rating. Because again, most of the time the 5 steps that I shared in the previous video is all it takes to get into the green, okay? But in this particular case, as a matter of fact, excuse me, if we go look at why slow, we look at the expired headers, you'll see that every single one of these items here that's causing the delay is a social icon. Every single one of them. All right, so that's what I said. A lot of this has to do with all of these little social buttons on this theme, okay? So anyways, I want to improve that, so we're going to walk through excuse me, setting up a content delivery network. So what you're going to need is W3 Total Cache installed. You're going to need an Amazon S3 account for the CloudFront, and then you're going to be able to need access to your Domain DNS Editor. So in other words, Cpanel. You're going to have to access Cpanel. So the first thing you want to do is log into your Amazon account, and then you're going to click on your name in the top right corner and click on your security credentials. So here I am at my Amazon dashboard. You want to come over here and go to Security Credentials, and this is going to bring you into your Security Credentials screen. You want to click on Continue, and then you're going to want to go to Access Keys. Okay, I'm not going to open that up because I've got some access keys in there already. But you open that up, and then you're going to want to click the Show button for the secret access key. First, copy your access key ID, okay? Put it in a notepad file. And then you want to click the Show button for the secret access key, or if you've already set that before, then you're going to want to retrieve it, okay? And you're going to want to copy that key as well. And again, put that in a notepad file off to the side. So once you've copied those, you're going to want to go back to your WordPress dashboard and go to the Performance tab, which is your W3 Total Cache, and then go to General Settings. Okay, so we're going to come over here, we're going to go to Performance and go to General Settings. Okay, from there we're going to scroll down to the section marked CDN type and select Amazon CloudFront from the origin pool area. Check Enable and Save All Settings. So we're going to scroll down here to where it we see CDN, and we're going to select Amazon CloudFront from this drop down underneath the origin pool method. Okay, so we're going to select that, and we're going to check Enable and hit Save All Settings. Okay, so then we're going to enter the access key ID and secret key from Amazon S3. So if we scroll down back to, once it saves, it'll bring you up to the top again, so you got to scroll back down. So once it's saved, it'll bring you up here at the top of this. You'll see that it says right here that the CDN needs the access key, secret key, and replace default hostname with fields, which you can specify by clicking here. It's going to take you to where you need to be, and this is where you're going to paste in your access key ID and your secret key. Okay, so let me do that. Alright, so now that that's been pasted in, the next thing we're going to do is click Create Distribution. And then we're going to go back over to Amazon and navigate to the CloudFront console. So I'm going to hit Create Distribution. It says created successfully. Alright, so now go back over to Amazon. You click on Services, and then you want to come down to CloudFront. Click on that. Alright, now you're going to see that right here is the domain, the origin, okay, and you can see that it says in progress. If we scroll over a little bit, you'll see that it's in progress. Now this can take usually a bit greater than 10 minutes, about 10 to 15 minutes before this says active. Okay, it'll sit there and say in progress. It's basically setting up on the server, the Amazon server. So it's going to take some time, and it could take, like I said, between 10 and 15 minutes typically. So I'm going to pause the video, and once this switches to active, which like I said will be 10 or 15 minutes, I'll restart the video. Okay, you can see now that it says the status has changed from in progress to deployed. So the next thing we need to do, excuse me, is we'll take a look at the notes here first, but we want to click on the I for the info icon and then copy the domain name that has been assigned in the general tab. Alright, so we'll come back over here and we're going to click on this, and right here in the general tab you're going to see the domain name, which is this one right here. So we want to copy that and we're going to put that into a notepad file. Okay, then we're going to scroll or go over to our Cpanel account, and we're going to scroll down to the domain section and select Simple DNS Zone Editor. Okay, and this is where we're going to create an alias in the name field for the CNAME. Alright, so let's come over here. I'm going to scroll down inside my Cpanel and go down to the domain section here and go to Simple DNS Zone Editor. Click on that, and we're going to select the domain. So I'm going to select that domain, and we're going to come down here where it says add a CNAME record, and then right here we're going to add an alias. Okay, an example would be, like, I use CDN, so I'll do CDN, and then I'm going to put my domain, so how-to SEO.us. Okay, so basically it's like a subdomain, so it's going to be cdn.howto.us. and if we go look at the notes, you'll see that I have an example in these notes, cdn.domain.com. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to enter the original URL from CloudFront that we just copied and put in a notepad. So let me grab this, and we're going to put that in the CNAME field right here, and we're going to click Add CNAME Record. Okay, it says that it has added the record. Alright, so then we'll jump back over here for a moment, and then we're going to go back to the CloudFront and click the I button again. We actually were probably still in there. We are. And we're going to enter the CNAME into the box labeled alternate domain names, and then click Yes Edit on the bottom right corner. So over here where it says alternate domain names right here, so we need to click Edit, and then we're going to put the CNAME in here. Now this is the one that we just created, remember? So cdn.howto.seo.us. Once we've entered that, we're going to scroll down to the bottom of the screen and hit Yes Edit, and now you'll see that it has our CNAME alias in there. Okay, so now we're going to end up going back to the W3 Total Cache, to the CDN tab, and we're going to add the CNAME that we just created in the box replace site's hostname with. Okay, so we're going to come back over to our site, and we're going to go to right here where it says number 1, and this is where we're going to add the CNAME that we just created. Now we're going to click Test CloudFront Distribution, or add CNAME first, and then click Test CloudFront Distribution, and you'll see that it should say green, test passed. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to enable the settings to be cached and served by the CDN. That's in the general settings area. It's on the same screen. Okay, so we're just going to scroll up and we're going to see that we have the general settings area right here. Okay, and these are the recommended settings. We're going to have the host attachment, host WP includes, host theme files, and host custom files. Okay, so we have these pretty much, that's by default, but you just want to make sure that they're checked. Go ahead and click Save All Settings one more time. And that's it. Now we're going to go back to the home page, and chances are it has not fully deployed yet, so I'm going to refresh this page, but it's probably going to come back looking like I broke the site, because it generally takes about another 10 or 15 minutes for it to fully deploy. As a matter of fact, if we go back over to our back to distributions, you're going to see that this wheel is back in progress again. Okay, because now that we deployed it on the actual site itself, it's taken some time to sync up with the server at Amazon. Okay, so it's back in progress. So if I were to refresh this page now, you're going to see it's going to look like a broken site. Okay, so right now, because these files, which will be delivered by the content delivery network now, have not been, the server's not completely set up yet. So right now it looks like it's broke, but in about another 10 minutes or so this should be green and say deployed, and then when I refresh the screen this will come back, and it will be delivered a lot faster. Load times should be a lot lower, and then we'll double check it with GTmetrix to see what kind of improvements we made. So I'll pause the video and come back when it's ready. Okay, this is deployed now. You can see that it's no longer in progress, it's been deployed. So if I come back over here and refresh the page, everything should come back, and it should have loaded very, very quickly. As a matter of fact, it looked like it did. So one thing I like to do is just kind of click through and check a couple different things to make sure that everything looks like it's loading. It's definitely loading a hell of a lot faster than it was, that's for sure. I can tell already. So we'll go back home, we'll click on one more. Outstanding, it's loading a lot faster. Okay, cool. So we're going to check in GTmetrix in just a minute, but one thing I want to do is take view page source. And now if you take a look, you can see that this is the URL that we had created, this cdn.howtoseo.us. So this is actually delivering my theme files. You'll notice a lot of your CSS files, theme files, images, things like that will be delivered from the CDN domain which we created. Okay, so it's being delivered through the Amazon servers instead of our hosting server. Okay, you see these right here? All of these files right here are all being delivered through the Amazon servers. So it's basically just it's improved the delivery of these files a whole lot. Okay, so we can see that it looks like everything has deployed properly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to double check that we don't have to empty the cache in here, and it doesn't look like we do. And we're going to go back over to GTmetrix, and remember, take a look at these numbers because it's going to be should be a considerable difference here when we retest the page. Hey, look at that. That's quite a difference, I would say, from what it was to what it is now. It's outstanding. Okay, so now we'll take a look at why slow. We'll see that the content delivery network now is up to about 80 out of 100. Expires headers now finally has come through. This has actually worked really, really well. So we went from 7576 to 9286. By adding the content delivery network to CDN. And we did it, guys, with me training you how to do it step by step in 13 minutes. The timer right now is at 13 minutes. So you know, once you get the hang of doing this, you could bang this out in about 8 to 10 minutes flat. Now it doesn't include the time waiting for the server to deploy. That's minus that. But in about 10 minutes of work, we can actually get this done. And that's pretty impressive, guys. That went from a 7576 to a 9286. And the pages load so much faster now. Just so much faster. So that's it, man. That's how you set up a content delivery network using Amazon CloudFront. It's literally pennies per month, guys, to do that. I highly recommend it for any site that you're going to be driving a lot of traffic to. Once again, this is Bradley Benner with How To SEO.